It's my honor to kick off with an introduction of our representative from the Hospice East Bay, Marcelo.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate that. My name is Mats Wallen. I'm the VP of Fund Development for Hospice East Bay. I've been with them, I think 8-9 years. Had my first experience with hospice back in '96 when my neighbor down the street had hospice services. I didn't really realize what that was, except that I had a chance to be with my friend and several times, because every time after the nurse left, he seemed to be better. So it was pretty cool. So wanted to just say a few words, just talk a little bit about us. Hospice East Bay is one of the oldest hospices in the country. The hospice movement started in 1974, and we formed in 1977. We serve about 1,500 patients and families every year, about 135 right here in Brentwood during the last year in East County. What I always like to share is a little bit about what all of you are helping make happen, because as a not-for-profit hospice, we are the only not-for-profit hospice based in Contra Costa County. There are over 50 other for-profit hospices, but we are the only not-for-profit hospice. And what that means, and the pleasure I get to have, is that we raise money, just like all of you attending here today, to be able to do some really unique programs and services that are very important to our community. I'd like to share a couple of them. One is our brunch house. It's in Alamo. It's the only inpatient hospice house in the 9 Bay Area counties. We can have up to 6 patients. It's a very expensive place to run, but we do it because we know that's a service that is really used and really appreciated. What I'm very excited about recently has been our expansion of our veterans program. We serve about 52% of all the male patients in 2022 were veterans. And we've always been a very strong veterans organization, but I really feel in the last 18 months we have really stepped up our pace and becoming much more proactive in helping our families really deal with some of the many unique challenges our veterans have. Many of our veterans that we serve now are combat veterans, and their issues and their challenges are very unique. But more importantly, they also, we are working very hard to make sure they're all educated and informed about what their benefits are. Because as a veteran, you have lots of benefits, and many of them do not access that. And so we really help to make sure that happens. Finally, the part I really enjoy and have fun with is we have a music therapy program. That's a certified social worker that goes out and plays music, both live and recorded, and it has a huge therapeutic effect. Thought I would share a story about our music therapist. Okay, thank you. I have a story that I'd like to say called Sue's Song. A little bit tweaky. So Sue's Song, they'll go closer, further away. Okay. So Sue's Song, we were taking care of a family. It was the husband who was on service and the spouse was there. They're both concert pianists. When our music therapist arrived, the husband was playing a song on the piano. It was a beautiful song. And he asked, "Oh, what is that song? I've never heard of it." And he said, "It's called Sue's Song, in the honor of my wife." And it was beautiful. And Ben said, "Do you have the music for that?" And he said, "Nope, don't even know how to read music. I wrote the song because this is the song I wanted to have for my wife." Well, Ben, being smart, recorded the music, took it home, wrote the score for that music. And then, when the husband could no longer play it, he played it for them. When the husband passed away, he gave his wife the score sheet. She looked at him and said, "I'm not sure I will ever be able to play this, but I'm so grateful we have this for our family." So That's the kind of stuff that we do that makes a real difference. Before I forget, I just want to make sure we always are very grateful to our corporate sponsors. So I wanted to highlight Rudney and Associates, Mr. and Mrs. Robert D'Amico, Mrs. Anita Heiberg, and then a special thanks to Jeff Schultz, Jovita Mendoza for the City of Brentwood, Katie Short, Dan and Lori Rodan, Jeff Hale, the City of Brentwood, and the Trilogy Vet Association. So what I would like to do now is introduce Brentwood City Council member. Make sure I can say it correctly, but she deserves nothing less. Jovita Mendoza.
Thank you, Matt. You actually did really well.
Yes.
I want to say thank you to on behalf of the city for everyone for coming out, and thank you for making this one of your stops for your life. We really appreciate it, and thank you, Susanna, our vice mayor, for coming out tonight as well. I appreciate the support. When I got the email to come, it's difficult because when you tell a story about when you've been through hospice, it's never something you look back on like, hey, that was a great time, right? It's just, you know that there was an end to that and it's hard. And my story was during COVID. I met my mother-in-law, probably 30 years ago. I started dating her son. I was older, 2 years. He was not even 21 yet. So I feel like I grew up with Pat. She was really close to us, really close to my daughters, fantastic grandmother. And during COVID was a difficult time for everyone. And because a lot of people were passing away of COVID, but she wasn't, she had cancer. So it was kind of a double whammy. We had this pandemic that kept us from my mother-in-law, which was very difficult. But I want to say I appreciate everyone who came out from the hospice center to help her during that time. I don't think that, I know you realize the impact, and I just want to say that I appreciate it. My family forever appreciates it. The day before she passed away, we had not visited her because of COVID. We were afraid she was going to contract COVID if one of us happened to have it. And, the hospice and the nurses were like, you got to do what you got to do. So they weren't saying no, which was nice. They never said no. And we spent our last day with her, and she was completely lucid. She had conversations with my daughters, made us laugh, told us how much she loved us, and the next day she passed away. So I just want to say thank you for all of the work that you do. There is no words to say thank you. So I appreciate it, and thank you again for making this one of your stops. I really appreciate it, and Brentwood appreciates it.
I have been singing for Hospice East Bay Tree of Lights since 2011. Actually, I just realized that's been, 12 years, Jeff? I've been co-partnering with Jeff, and I'm just so honored to be able to do it. Every year, it's very special. I always look forward to this, but it's also very emotional. And so when I'm picking the songs, I just try to pick ones I feel for that particular year. This one's been on my heart, and I felt drawn to sing this. And I just feel like it's been such a difficult last few years for everyone. It's just it's a hard time for a lot of people. So, and I feel that this song is very, very emotionally helpful in remembering our loved ones who have passed. I see you, I feel you, that is how I know you go on. Far across the distance and places between us, you have come to show you go shine and last for a lifetime. Never let go till we're gone. Love was when I saw you one true time. I hold you in my life, will always go on. Near, far, wherever you are, you would believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're safe in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. There's nothing to fear, and I know that my heart will go on. We'll stay forever this way, and you're safe in my heart. My heart will go on and on. Will go I would like to introduce Katie Shorts to read the poem.
Oh, great. Oh, wow. I've got two big ones up. Two big prints. We'll go with the one in the book, I think. Can you go a step further? I don't really need hospice, it just looks like it. Maybe next year. This poem I read back in 2019, and it's so powerful, we're going to read it again. And it's call and response. So I'm going to read a line, and you are going to say, we remember them. Very easy. You can remember 3 words. Don't make me use my school teacher voice. The name of it is We Remember Them, and it's written by, hold on, whoop, Rabbi Sylvan Commons and Rabbi Jack Reamer. In the rising of the sun and in its going down.
We remember them.
In the blowing, in the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter.
We remember them.
In the opening of the buds and in the warmth of summer. We remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of the autumn.
We remember them.
In the beginning of the year and when it ends,
We remember them.
when we are weary and in need of strength,
We remember them.
when we are lost and sick at heart,
We remember them.
when we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. For as long as we live, they too shall live. We remember them. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hang on. Just a minute. Navigating forward.
Good evening. Each year, when I am invited to do this part of this evening, it is always deeply felt that what I offer by reading the names of your friends and loved ones, that we take a moment to honor the name that you know them by from the time of their youth to the time of their leaving. And with that, I am greatly honored to offer you these names. Patricia Berry, Richard and Louise Bates, Carl B. Casey, Ronald Cervanka, Carol Cervanka Linda, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Crean, Tobiah Coutinho, Robbie D'Amico, Ralph and Dora Hybert, Lloyd Hybert, Ralph Hybert, Ralph Hybert Jr., Jackie Jones, Sadie Jones, Mabel Kagan, Leo Kagan, Dr. Vincente G. Lastimosa, Edie Teresa Lopez, Diane Lee, Nancy Melanson. I'll say again, Nancy Melanson, Ruth, Chuck, Patricia, and Terry Madigan, Ruth Mankmiller, Edson Lee Montgomery, Vernon Noble, Maria Nunez, Lalo Nunez, Andrew Nunez, Jenny Ochoa, Baby Daniel Ornelas, Jesus Ornelas, Steve Paget, Bunny Picararo, Lola, pet of Lil Pierce, Lawrence C. Plate, Carrie Rose, Frank Rosensky, Dylan Rundle, Toby Sanchez, Fred Schultz, Glenn C. Scrimger, Bill Stormy Short, Joe Stiglitz, Ramona Trowbridge, George Bishop, Michael Weld, Richard Wisdom, Rosanna Wilson. For those names that may be missing, let us embrace those memories. Let us always gather with great arms around those that need us the most every day. And remember that our hearts will always go on as long as they live within us.
I pray you'll be alright and watch us where we go and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che
I pray you find your
nel
light.
cuore resterà. Così codace
When the stars watch
la
night.
castella nella mia preghiera.
Let this be your prayer.
Quanta fede c'è
Shadows fill our days.
lead us to a place.
Guide us with your grace.
Give us space on we'll be safe. Sogno lontano senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza, ogni anno brilla quando sono vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. La forza che ci dai, ognuno provi amore, intorno ai dentro sé.
Let this be your prayer. Let this be your prayer.
Just like every
child needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace.
give us faith so we'll be safe. E le fede che hai in sé in noi.
Sento che ci sono.
That is beautiful. It is my honor to present to you the Brentwood Tree of Lights. I want to thank all of you for coming. You're more than welcome to take the candles home. If you would like to return it, we do recycle them, but please feel free, you're more than welcome to take them home, and thank you very much for attending today.